you like a Würfel Reviews logo? If you do, then you might want to buy a t-shirt with the channel's logo. Just head to geekygoodies.com/würfelreviews and grab a t-shirt for yourself or your friends. By buying Würfel Reviews t-shirts, you are supporting the channel, and I'm thankful for that. And don't forget that you can also support the channel through Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/würfelreviews and choose the reward level that suits you best. Your support means a lot. With enough support, this channel will continue providing you with the content, and you will be able to contribute to that as well. Thank you to everyone who watches and supports the channel.
Hello there folks, today we take a look at the game called InBetween. It's published by Board&Dice and the designer is Adam Kwapinski. This is a tug-of-war game for 2 players. It's a city of Upsideville, and there's that human and there's a creature, and the humans trying to save themselves from the creature, and the creature tries to devour them and get them into its own dimension and do bad things. So anyway, let's take a look at how the game works. So InBetween is a 2-player game when one of you is playing a good side and the other player is playing the bad side. But basically these are 2 sides, and the goal of the game is to get either 3 people devoured or 3 people secured. So for the creature player, devoured; for the good player, for the human player, secured. And there are the other endgame conditions. For example, if there are only a few characters left on the boards here on the table, then we'll look who has the most characters on his or her side, or there as well. So there are those different winning conditions. Now, how the game is played. So these are your decks, and these are asymmetrical decks. So the human deck has different cards and different symbols as well. Down here is a cost of energy. So when you play a card, you usually play it as a symbol, and then you can also activate an ability by paying the energy cost over here. But some cards in the human deck are also the equipment. Usually when you play a card, you play it, you discard it, and you, for example, use the ability as well, you discard it afterwards. With the equipment, you pay, and then you can put the equipment in front of you as a human player, and it will influence you. The creature has different deck of cards, but basically also like one-time use cards, and different symbols. But the thing about them is that it has some cards that can destroy equipment from the human player. So this is like a counter to that, and this little bit of art over there. So how does the game work? So basically, what you're trying to do, you're trying to get those shift markers on the players. On the people over here. So this is the creature side. So this human, this human is on a creature. Jeremy is on a creature side, and Jamie as well. She's on a creature side. But you could turn her over. She would be on a human side. So, and you want to get these markers on the cards and then get them right in the to the end of this column over here. So for the creature will be devoured, so +1 point. But there are few cards or something that can influence still the locked. Basically, when this marker is over here, it's locked usually, but there are some special abilities still that can influence. But how the game is works, so the structure of the game is over here. We have the awareness phase where you can use the awareness ability. So awareness ability, for example, this card over here, I didn't do the proper setup for both players, but basically the awareness card over here, this is the card. At a certain condition, you can pay energy in order to increase awareness. By the way, and this is the third condition how you can win the game. If you increase it to 6, you win the game immediately. So awareness, you have to pay as much energy when you're able to pay. You may pay as much energy as the level, and then you advance. So these are one-time use abilities, but you can use only one of them. So while you raise your level at some point at the beginning of your turn, you can use the ability that is your on your level or lower level, and then get the benefits. But it's only a 1 time per game. So you either use it early, but then it will probably be on a lower level, or you can wait and increase your level and then use any of the higher level abilities over here, but these are like one-time use and it's done. But still, you can raise it to 6 and win the game. So this is the awareness, like a small but quite powerful ability that you can get. Then there's the action phase, and during the action phase you use those cards that you have in your hand, you know, to do different things. So the cards have those symbols over here, and those symbols are also on the cards over here. So for example, this one has, so for the human player, that's the symbol with which you can influence that human over here. For the creature is this symbol. So let me see if I have, okay, I don't have, but for example, this one. So I can influence this character with some of these cards. For example, as you can see, there's a matching symbol here. So what I can do, I can discard a card. So basically I can play a card. Let's say I'm going to play this card. What I can do, so first of all, I can find a human with the same symbol and influence him. If he's on my side, for example, if I'm a human player, he's on my side, then I will put a marker on top of it if there's no marker. Or if there is already a marker, I will slide it down, kind of down my way to the secured way. If that would be a creature and he or she would influence this a human with that symbol here, with the pistol symbol, the creature symbol, then if there is no marker, you flip it over, and then you, with other cards, you can put the marker on and get it on the other side. So you're kind of pulling the people from one side to the other side, to your side. But also, if the marker was somewhere over here, me as a creature, I would probably want to get this marker away from the secured side. So that's how you basically play those cards. So you can also use the ability of the cards. And then you have to pay the energy cost. So these are the energy cubes. At the beginning of the game you have 5 energy cubes, but you can gain more. So there's one of the actions which is basically getting energy, depending on how many humans are on your side, creature or human side. So anyway, what else you can do? You can play this card, but instead of influencing a person with that symbol, you can take that symbol from here, from the center, or it was on any other card, and you can put on any character. Which means, for example, if I put it on lands over here, means I can influence lands now with both symbols. So I can gather the different symbols. If I really want to influence lands, I have more possibilities to influence him with different cards. So that's cool. Then, for example, you can also prepare. You can discard any number of cards and get up to 5 cards. Because you get only 1 action per turn. So you either play a card, or you prepare and get more cards, or you get energy. And you just get a certain amount of energy based on certain conditions. So these are different actions. Then we have the activity phase. So you take a look, is if the character is in between, which means that there is no marker on the card, no purple marker over here, then characters between, nothing happens. If there is a marker, and by the way, this is the turn order marker, so it will go like, for example, the creature will do his action, then will turn over, then the human will do his action, and the creature, the human, and so on. So let's say we take a look at this one. So the activity marker is on a creature's person. So that means, and there is a marker over here, so that means that the creature can use this to increase the awareness by paying energy if he or she wants to. And also, if the marker is on a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th level, then that means that the ability will be activated as well. And there are several abilities. So for example, this one says, so it would be on this side, so the creature may flip the direction token. The direction token is over here, so the direction will go that way, and sometimes it's really important to have the direction. So the town may move the activity marker up to 2 character cards away, so this is not so interesting, but let me show you maybe something else. Oh yeah, the creature may shift the safety marker on a secure character by 2 spaces, so secure character. Unsecured means on those spaces, so I can shift it away from those spaces and maybe on my side as well. So there are different abilities, or for example, the creature may play one card from its hand, and those abilities get activated if the marker is on those levels over here. Then that player whose dimension it is will get the ability. Or the town chooses an adjacent card in the creature dimension and shift the safety marker on it by 1 space. So, and this is basically it. This is basically all the different things over here. And you do that, and then eventually your movement phase means you will just move the marker the right way. And you play until, I told you, free devoured or free secured, or awareness level is on a 6 on one player, or there's only 5 characters available, and we see who has the most characters on his or her side. And this is the creature, this is the humans deck over here. You have, for example, the coupon, which is an equipment. When you play equipment, you put it in front of you. So whenever you play a card with a house symbol, you may draw 1 card. Really cool. If the creature has more energy than you, draw 2 cards. So activate those. Skip the activity phase this turn, which is really cool. So, for example, you see that the creature will activate. Activity phase means the creature can activate the ability if the marker is on the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th level. So that means you can skip the activity and maybe skip the creature's really good action. Or if the creature has more cards in hand than you, gain free energy. So the creature has those nasty cards. The town loses 1 energy available. Replacement. Choose any character cards and move it to a different place. Or choose the town discards half of its card from hand, or town loses half of its energy. It's going to do really bad things all the time. Choose a character card in the creature dimension and shift the safety marker on it by 1 space. So all the different ones over here. So anyway, this is the whole game. This is how InBetween is played. Let's go to my final thoughts. So first of all, let me talk about the graphics on this box. This is a really cool box. So you have the front, which is a good side, and you have the back, which is a bad side. The evil side, I mean. And it's a really cool concept. It's basically like Abyss has this kind of there's no text on the front of the box. It's on the side over here. The problem, though, in my opinion, still, though it's a cool and kind of a cool twist on a box cover and the design of the graphic side of the box, it's still like you get this. For example, you go to the shop and you get this box from in a shrink wrap from the shop. You want to see what are the components inside. There is no like the art itself on the cards is really cool. It's cartoony. It's kind of a the evil side has kind of a dark art as well. So there should have been this kind of a component picture. I do understand the concept, but I think like it's kind of gimmick versus being more logical towards the graphical side of the game. So I don't know. I just feel like that. So if we go towards the components are fine. The cards are fine quality. They're not something extraordinary, but they're okay. And everything else is fine. It's okay. It's a small box. I mean, it's not that pricey as well. So why not? It's fine. It's totally fine. So when we go to the gameplay itself, so it's a 2-player game. It's a symmetric game, and it feels asymmetric because you have like the evil side and good side have those different decks. The good side has equipment in the deck, and this equipment is something that stays in front of you until evil side destroys it or something like that, you know. And that's really cool. The evil side doesn't have any equipment because, like, these are not humans. It's kind of the evil, but I don't know if it's tangible or not. I mean, spreading out. And the feel of those decks. So the evil deck has the feel of kind of a spreading out and pushing towards that dark side, pushing all the time. While the good side has the kind of a defensive, so the evil side is kind of attacking and the good side is kind of a defensive value, because like there's a lot of that equipment and a lot of that preventing mechanic in the good side, and you have something to explore and you have to react. It's a strategic game because you have to kind of think forward, but on the other hand it's tactical game because you need to kind of adapt. It's like a tug of war where you want to adapt to your opponent the most as much as possible, because for example if your opponent pushes the cubes too far, then you have to kind of react. You cannot do your own stuff. And there are quite a lot of those characters around the table, so you cannot concentrate like So it's, I mean, you have to concentrate. You cannot spread out. You're gonna concentrate on everything. You have to kind of concentrate on something particular, which is cool. I like that. And then you have to kind of react to the other side of something. And yeah, it's just a very attractive, very engaging gameplay itself. You are engaged in the game all the time because you really want to know what your opponent does and you want to react to what your opponent does. Now, if we could talk about the characters and around the table, so they're really cool. There are different characters and some characters will be left in the box, and so you have that variability, which is cool. Variability is enough in this game for now. The problem though I have with the setup of this one is that the characters are put in the circle around the, in a circle. So depending on where I sit, some of the cards, some of the abilities on the cards are really hard to read. So yeah, because they are that way or the other way, and you know, it's just every card should kind of be in front of you. It's just how it is. It's fiddly. It's fiddly to read. Now, if we talk about those abilities on those characters, then I kind of feel it's also a little bit too fiddly because basically when you play those cards from your hand, you have those cards in your hand, so you read them. Hand management, lovely. But there's the rules. So if it's on a certain level of a card, then you can activate the ability or you can increase your awareness and such. So there are those tiny rules, small rules, not too many, but still it kind of takes away that time, takes away that kind of a flow, the good flow of the game sometimes. That's just my opinion. Of course, you will maybe memorize those characters and cards eventually. They're not that difficult, but still, I think it should have been streamlined even more. Maybe no abilities on the card. I don't know. Maybe something even simpler. I don't know. I'm not the designer of the game. Anyway, so, and if we go further into the game itself, so what I like about this one is the resource management, which is tight. So as I told you, it's a tug of war, and you have this resource management as well, where you you need energy, you need cards, and everything. You don't replenish your cards just you don't draw your cards at the end of the turn. You have to use the action in order to get more cards. Though some abilities will give you some extra actions and so on, depends on how you build up your strategy. But I really do like that. You need the energy cubes. So the cards, they have this kind of energy cost. So if you want to activate the special ability of the card, you have to pay cubes. You have to pay those energy cubes, but then you have to get them. You have to have enough of them. So it's kind of always that struggle of a tight management. Where and when should I get the cards? When should I get the energy cubes? Or should I play this card just as a symbol in order to move the cube around? Or should I just wait for this card in order to activate its ability, but then I need the energy cubes and blah, 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 so on. So that's that. And that's really cool. I like that tight management because it engages you in the game even more. But one thing as I realized is that you have to explore the game. First of all, you have to play it a few times in order to explore the decks. You have to explore what's your opponent deck, what's your deck, and maybe change the side and play. But I would recommend it to play it so you play one side quite a few times to get really familiar with that one, and then you change sides. So that would be perfect. It's just my opinion, because for example, with the evil side, I realized how. What I did wrong is that I didn't spread out. So with the cards, you can either move the cube on a card matching the symbol, or you can put out that symbol on any other cards in order to kind of have more possibilities to influence that character, which I didn't do, and I struggled, and that's that because eventually the good side will get really defensive, and it's really hard to break through, and because he can kind of answer all the time. So anyway, I do like this game. I do like this tight management. I do like this small package. It's a card game. Some problems with the setup and no components on the back of the box, which is small thing, but still it should be. You sell the game. If you want to sell the game that way, it's a gimmick. It might sell, might not. But it's a lovely to play game. Definitely recommend this one. This game will get a bronze Würfel medal from me. So here you go. That's InBetween. And we'll see you another time. Thank you. Bye. This channel is sponsored by Osprey Games. Check them out at ospreypublishing.com.